Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. Welcome to the beginning of Advanced Arabic short course. I mean the beginning of the grammar session, because I've spent actually three videos introducing about this course. So in the first video I've talked about the introduction. In the second we've talked about actually the second one was a revision, important revision of the season 1. And the third one we talked about sentence structure. We now know that Arabic words consist of root letters. If you haven't watched any of the previous videos, I recommend watching them, and you will have a pretty idea where we're going. So now we won't spend any more time over that. Let's go straight to the topic of Kaana and its sisters. And the subtopic we'll be discussing today is Naaqis, which is translated as incomplete verbs. A lot of things are written on the screen. Don't pay attention to them. Pay attention to this pen. Kaana. It's red. Let me change the colors. Blue sounds fine. Okay. So we'll be dealing with Kaana. Kaana means was. To be more precise, actually, it's he was. Okay. It's he was. And yakunu, which is the present tense of it, would be he will be. The he is missing in both meanings, please note that, even though it's given over here and in that table, but okay. So Kaana means he was. Now there's no word for is in Arabic. Take a good note of that. And we remember that if a sentence starts with fail, in the 19th video of season 1 we discussed sentences in Arabic. There we learned that if a sentence starts with a fail, that means a verb, then the sentence is jumla fi'liya. Otherwise, it is jumla ismiya. However, these verbs are crazy. They start a jumla ismiya. Why? Before we discuss this part, let me remind you about nasara. We did nasara, right? And we better get used to not using these harakas. Okay. Anyways, we'll get used to it, inshallah. So nasara meant he helped. Now, if you want to make a sentence out of he helped, it's okay. Who helped? He helped. That can be a sentence. It's okay. And we do know that every fail themselves are jumla fi'liya or failure. But can you say he was? No, that's incomplete. He was what? The question what comes in mind, and he was is not complete. It's incomplete. That's why these crazy verbs are called incomplete verbs, which is actually called Naaqis. There would be an extra a because there's an alif. Naaqis. Okay, let me make the corrections over here. That would be he over here. He was. So Naaqis are incomplete verbs. Okay, and they start. The most craziest thing about them is they start a jumla ismiya. Not to mention they have some other modifications in the sentence, and that is why we have a separate video on Kaana and its sisters. Wait, its sisters? Yes, there are some other verbs which do the same crazy thing. We'll be talking about all of them and the sentence structure. Let's dive to it, inshallah. Okay, it's not working. Now it's working. Kaana and its sisters. It's the Arabic version. Kaana wa ukhwatuha. So we have a masdar. You can say, just for now, let's just understand that this is ism. An ism. It could be a masdar, it could be a ism file, whatever. Let's just keep in mind that this is an ism. So an ism, and now if we put Kaana over here in this sentence, it is supposed to be a jumla fi'liya, but it is not. It's a jumla ismiya. And this Kaana would give you the meaning of was. Otherwise, it would just have been he's watchful. He watches, or something. He watched. He watched. But this was is giving him the meaning of kinda it's going on. It was going on. So that's what Kaana's meaning. And the crazy things about the sentences is the Kaana itself or the sisters are called fail Naaqis. Naaqis, okay? You have to mention this word Naaqis. That's for the fail, whichever shows up. And the maf'ul becomes khabar of Kaana. So the khabar actually becomes khabar of that Kaana. So here it's Kaana, so it will be khabar of Kaana. If it was Laisa, then you would say khabar of Laisa, which is another sister of Kaana. And the fa'il becomes the ismu Kaana. Now there's the ismu Kaana could be hidden and it could be outside doer. It could be outside doer. We did this in season 1. There's an inside doer and there could be an outside doer. For example, if this sentence was Kana muslima rakiban, then that would be an outside doer. Sorry, muslimu rakiban. The outside doer must be rafa. So that would make a file, ism Kana. Otherwise the ism Kana is over here hidden. Okay, so that's the sentence structure, basic sentence structure, which is grammatically necessary, but to understand Quran that's not necessary. Okay, so the terms, just keep in mind that this would make the sentence jumla ismiya, and the meaning is very important. He was. Okay, now that we are done with that, let's go to the table. Table? What table? The Kaana table. So I'll read through this once. Kaana, Kaana, Kaanu, or you can say Kaanu, Kaanat, Kaanata, Kunna. Now this is abnormal, or you can say irregular, because you had Nasara, Nasara, Nasaru, Nasarat, Nasarata, Nasarna, which is now Kunna. Where did the alif go to? There was an alif in everyone. But where did this alif go to run off to? We'll do this kind of irregular things in Sarf, but for now we just know, okay, this is a different case, and that is why I made this table. So normal it's not so necessary, but I think you'll benefit from this, Insha'Allah. So I took my time to make it, Alhamdulillah. So kunta, anta kunta, antuma kuntuma, antum kuntum, anti kunti, antuma kuntuma, antunna kuntunna, ana kuntu, nahnu kunna. That's all for the table. And I put the haraka so you can do it. It's not so necessary to memorize this, because once you have a good Quran application or something, you can actually identify them. So it's more important to identify. Memorization is not so important. If you just remember, okay, the kunta, kunti, that's all. And now the mudare. Yakunu, yakunani, yakununa, takunu, takunani, yakunna. Abnormality. Irregular again. Anta takunu, antuma takunani, antum takununa, anti takunina, antuma takunani, antunna takunna, anakunu, nahnu nakunu. That's all for the sentences. Sorry, for the conjugations. And one thing I should tell you, that yakunu is kinda extra crazy. The Naaqis themselves are already crazy, but yakunu is extra crazy. Why? Because it cannot sit alone. It gives you the meaning he will be. Now he will be there's no future tense in Arabic, right? So how do we make will be out of it? So we'll get to that. Before we get to that, let's get introduced to the sentences of the sisters of Kaana. So I want to change my colors now. Maybe violet seems fine. Let's try some variations. Green. Okay. So we have Laisa. He is not, which is giving me the unique meaning of he is not. Notice the is. Okay? But it's not is itself, it's with not. He is not. Asbaha, which gives you the meaning of he became. They all have their mudare and madi tables themselves. Zalla, he remained. So there are more of these sisters, but they don't show up that much, and I told you in the videos of introduction that we are focusing on Quranic benefits, so they don't show up that much, and these are the main ones, and we'll focus on them. And now these are the sisters, and notice that Lisa itself has a twin called Ma, and we'll be introduced to them very soon. But before that, let's deal with Yakunu first. So to do that, we need to get introduced, or we need to know how to do future tense, which does not exist. So we need the help of two words. Those are called sa and saufa. Both of them means in the future. However, saufa is a near future. That means very soon it will happen. And sa can have its long time. It can take its sweet time. But saufa means okay, it's closer than sa. So if you say sa yakunu, he will be, this would take longer than saufa yakunu. Saufa yakunu means he will be very soon. He will be what? Anything. Sa yakunu muslimun. It could be he will be Muslim. Saufa yakunu muslim. Anyways, so the important words are sa and saufa. And the interesting thing is, it's not that you can only use sa and saufa for yakunu. You can transform any sentence to future tense with these words. So if you say sa huwa muslimu, he, or you need to use the present tense, of course. So if you say huwa muslimun, he is Muslim. But if you say sa huwa muslimun, he will be Muslim. So you have that. So sa and saufa can transform any sentence, and demonstration is shown right over here. You can use any sentence and make them future. And keep in mind about the time that sa will take longer and saufa would be closer. Allah would use these words, so they're important to remember. And now let's get introduced to Lisa. Okay, Lisa and Ma. And we'll also be knowing, we'll also know about negation. I'm using this will be a lot today, I don't know why. So negations, that means negating a sentence, making a sentence negative, to be more simplistic. The Muslim is not a liar. Laisa muslimu kaziban. The Muslim is not a liar. Okay, so is not is coming from Laisa, which is fi'l Naaqis, like we discussed before. A liar would be kaziban, which would be ismu Kaana, which would be khabar of Kaana, and in this case khabar of Laisa. And the Muslim is clearly an outside doer, so it would be ismu Laisa, which is this one. However, I am not here to discuss about this structure. We're here to talk about the differences between Laisa and Ma. So when you use Laisa, the Muslim is not a liar. But if you want to make it stronger, hey, he's really not a liar, then we add a ba. Laisa muslimu bi kaziban. Now we all know that ba is a harf of jar, or you can say bi. This is a harf of jar, so this will be muta'alliq bil khabar. That's not important. What matters to us that it is more empathetic, that he is really not a liar. He is not a liar, and he is really not a liar. So this is a stronger form. Now you have this word called ma, and the same thing can be done with ma. So you can also have ma muslimu kaziban. Now one thing to note about ma is it needs a doer. Ma is not a fi'l, so it needs a doer, and here it doesn't need a doer because here you have muslimu, which is an outside doer, so ma doesn't need. anyone. But if it was just ma kaziban, then that's wrong. You would have to say ma huwa kaziban or something, you know, ma hiya kazibatan, something. So ma would need a doer. That's an important note I want you to take. And now moving forward, ma muslimu kazibat would give you the meaning he is not a liar. Stronger than this one. Okay, so this is the least strongest, which means the weakest form of negation. Then you have a ma muslimu kaziban, which is the second strongest. This one is the third. So 2, I didn't write 2, you will have to make it on your own. 1, 2, this would be 3, and 4 you would use ma muslimu, and remember the ba we used in Laisa. We can do the same thing with ma. That means you're saying he is not a liar at all. You better stop saying what you're saying. I completely disagree. A very strong form of negation, in fact the strongest among these four. There are 7 types of negations. We'll have it in our next video, but for now, this among these 4, this is the strongest one. You have a ma and you had a ba, and the least strongest is Laisa and nothing. And then you can have ma and nothing, and then Laisa with ba, and then ma with ba. And remember the fact about the doer of ma. Ma would need a doer. If there's an outside doer, it doesn't need one, but if there is no outside doer, then it would certainly need a doer. Hua, huma, something. And let's look at another example, which is this one. Ma lahum min ilmin. So here you have the mubtada, which is ma min ilmi, and lahum is the muta'alliq bil khabar. Now you may say, what's this doing over here? Of course, there's ma. So we have ma, and that's good that this is a sentence which doesn't have ba. Okay, so as you use the harf of jars, then it would certainly be muta'alliq bil khabar, and you don't have to say muta'alliq bil khabar of Laisa or muta'alliq bil khabar of something. That's easy. A little example just to remind you, and just in case you forgot, mubtada is the main doer of the sentence. Sorry about that. We did it in the 19th video of season 1. So folks, that was all about Naaqis for the short video. We are done for now. A little review. Kaana, yakunu. Kaana means was, yakunu means it would be. All of these words are called Naaqis. And this is a sentence example. The maf'ul becomes cover of Kaana, and the file, which could be inside and it could be outside, is ismu Kaana. You have the Kaana table, you have the yakunu table, which is the mudare, but the mudare cannot run by itself, so it needs a future helping words, which is sa and or saufa. Saufa is sooner and sa would be longer. And there are other sitters of Kaana. They are Laisa, Asbaha, Zolla, and many more. And Ma is a twin of Laisa. And there are 4 ways to negate using Ma and Laisa. Among them, the weakest is Laisa with nothing, and the strongest is Ma and Ba with the doer. Khabar. So the khabar, if it has a Ba with it, it becomes a muta'alliq bil khabar, and that would be the strongest form of negation. So that's all for Naaqis and Kaana. We are done. If you want to practice more, you can just go online, have some resources, and open Quran ayahs related to Kaana. If you memorize the Kaana table, especially the past one, you would find a lot of Kaana in the Quran. Keep reading and you will come across them. So that's all. And as the progress, we have completed Kaana and its sisters in one video. And probably the next topic, which is negation, will also be completed in one video. Insha'Allah, we'll try that. So Jazakallahu khairan for watching, and I hope you're looking forward to the next one, which is negation. And please, if you are interested, you can try out some other series, Quran Gems and Miracles, which is a special series. Story time is currently had to make some modifications, and the same with Divine Inspiration, but check out Quran Gems and Miracles, Insha'Allah. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and don't forget to download the handouts from the link below.